Maverick News, the antivirus program for your mind. And now, the Freedom Reporters.
Hello everyone, this is a Maverick News Update. We are going live to McGill University today, just a short time ago. A request from the university to get a court injunction to have the pro-Palestinian encampment there removed failed in court. We're going live now to McGill with Dragon, where a news conference is about to take place.
Qui utilisent nos frais de scolarité pour investir dans des entreprises complices de génocide et d'occupation. Ce matin, le tribunal a rejeté la demande d'injonction de McGill visant à démanteler le campement et a reconnu les droits des étudiants à la liberté d'expression et de manifestation. Cela a créé un précédent incroyable, non seulement pour la communauté de McGill, mais aussi pour le mouvement palestinien. Le tribunal lui-même a placé ce campement dans ce contexte, et je cite la décision d'injonction, considérant pour les besoins du contexte que l'action des manifestants s'inscrit dans un mouvement nord-américain présent dans plusieurs dizaines d'universités aux États-Unis en lien avec les événements en cours dans la bande de Gaza, où des dizaines de milliers de Palestiniens ont été tués, blessés ou dépostés par l'armée israélienne. Nous espérons que la décision de la Cour apprendra à McGill qu'il est plus coûteux d'exercer des mesures exceptionnelles pour réprimer ses propres étudiants par des moyens légaux plutôt que de répondre à leurs demandes. Qu'il s'agisse de déplacer la cérémonie de remise des diplômes pour 700 000 $ et d'entraîner ces étudiants dans des batailles juridiques inutiles qui se sont avérées mal fondées plutôt que de désinvestir des investissements existants qui tuent activement des enfants dans la bande de Gaza. I am here today on behalf of SPHR McGill on May 15th, which marks 76 years of an ongoing Nakba, but also on behalf of the students worldwide who have built these encampments to challenge our institutions who use our tuition money to invest in companies complicit in genocide and occupation. In a historic win this morning, the court rejected McGill's request for an injunction to dismantle the encampment and recognized the students' rights for free speech and demonstration. This sets an incredible precedent not only for the McGill community, but for the Palestinian movement at large, which despite attempts of defamation and repression, has refused to be stifled. This win transcends the court and is contextualized within the broader student movement that is refusing to be silenced. The court itself placed this encampment within this context, and I quote from the injunction ruling, considering, for the sake of context, that the demonstrators' action is part of a North American movement present in several dozen universities in the United States in connection with the events underway in the Gaza Strip, where tens of thousands of Palestinians have been killed, injured, or dispossessed by the Israeli army. We hope that this court's decision teaches McGill that exercising exceptional measures to repress its own students through legal means instead of meeting their demands is more costly. From moving convocation for $700,000 and dragging its students into pointless legal battles, they have proven to be ill-founded rather than just divesting existing investments that are actively perpetrating massacres in Gaza today. The court's ruling reaffirms that what we have been saying for 19 days, which is that this encampment will only end when the McGill administration meets our demands of material divestment that would stop the massacres unfolding in Gaza. McGill has the chance to be on the right side of history, and we have given them every opportunity to do so, and they continuously refuse to do so.
Merci. On va maintenant écouter d'une représentatrice de l'encampement des étudiants ici à McGill, des voix juives indépendantes à McGill. We will now be hearing from a representative of IJB McGill and a representative of the student encampment. Je suis ici aujourd'hui au nom de Independent Jewish Voices McGill, en tant qu'étudiant juif anti-zioniste. Ce matin, le tribunal a statué en faveur de la sauvegarde du campement étudiant sur la base de la liberté d'expression et a placé de cette manifestation dans le contexte de 76 années d'occupation, de génocide et de nettoyage ethnique. C'est pour ces raisons que nous avons construit ce campement. Nous voulons déplacer de l'argent des entreprises non éthiques qui investissent dans la guerre, de l'occupation et le génocide vers les entreprises éthiques. Au lieu de cela, McGill a épuisé ses ressources et ses finances pour réprimer le mouvement. Les nombreuses tentatives de McGill pour détourner l'attention du vrai problème, selon le tribunal, la demande d'injonction de l'administration a été, je cite, soit mal fondée, soit accessoire à l'ordre de la démantèlement. Nous nous félicitons de la décision du tribunal. Nous sommes fiers d'avoir créé un précédent pour McGill, à savoir que les gens ont le droit de protester contre leur université et de garantir la liberté d'expression dans le cadre de leur institution académique. I am here today on behalf of Independent Jewish Voices McGill as an anti-Zionist Jewish student. We have seen thousands of students, professors, staff, and alumni gather in support of this encampment and this campaign, which has been active on McGill campus for over 20 years. This morning, the court ruled in favor of safeguarding the student encampment on the basis of freedom of speech and placed this demonstration within the context of 76 years of an ongoing occupation, genocide, and ethnic cleansing. It is for these reasons that we built this encampment, to stop our tuition money from funding these crimes. Our demands are realizable and simple. We want to move money from unethical companies that invest in war, occupation, and genocide to ethical companies. Instead, McGill has exhausted resources and finances to repress the movement. It has taken legal action, threatened state violence, and the forced removal of the McGill community for peacefully protesting against the genocide, which has martyred over 40,000 people. 15,000 of whom are children. The courts have affirmed that it's cheaper for the McGill administration to stop going after its students through legal means and violent efforts. Instead, it's better to put their energy into divestment methods that would stop the killing of innocent children in Gaza. This comes after 19 days of the administration smearing our protest encampment with claims of anti-Semitism, unlivable conditions, or violence. The goals of such efforts are clear: to diminish and silence the voices of the majority of students who stand in unprecedented numbers against the ongoing genocide and the occupation of the Palestinian people. McGill's numerous attempts to deflect from the real issue, according to the court, the administration's requests for the injunction have been, and I quote, either on their face ill-founded or ancillary to the dismantling order. We welcome the court's decision. We are proud to have set the precedent to McGill that it is the right of people to protest against their universities and to ensure free speech as part of their academic institutions. Merci. On va maintenant prendre quelques questions en français d'abord et ensuite en anglais. We'll now take a couple of questions in French first and then in English. Okay, une représentante de Speaker McGill va prendre cette question. So the question was, how are the negotiations with the McGill administration going, and will they continue after this?
Our administration has not come back with any concrete proposal that meets our demands in a material way. Instead, they decided to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars pursuing their students in a legal case that has failed. So our demands have been made clear, and we said we will only dismantle this encampment until our demands are met, and they have yet to come back to us with a concrete proposal.
How long will we stay here? A representative of IG, une représentante de IGV McGill va prendre la question.
Yeah, just as said before, we will stay here as long as it takes until our demands are met. We are willing to dismantle this encampment if McGill administration takes our demands seriously, takes this genocide of the Palestinian people seriously.
Donc, la réponse qu'elle a donnée, c'était qu'on va rester ici jusqu'à ce que l'administration de l'Université de McGill prend au sérieux nos demandes et prend au sérieux le fait qu'ils sont complices dans le génocide.
Moi, j'aurais une question pour Maverick Media.
Can you stay here all summer?
We are willing to stay here as long as it takes until our demands are met.
Nous sommes prêts à rester ici jusqu'à ce que nos demandes soient réalisées.
J'ai une question pour Maverick News. Si les demandes n'auraient pas été agréées, est-ce que qu'est-ce qui serait arrivé si la police serait venue ici pour démanteler ou comment est-ce que ça se serait passé?
If the demands are not met, what would you do if the police comes?
I mean, again, students are steadfast and committed to staying here until their demands are met in a material way.
Thank you.
Just to add to that, the SPVM have declared us a peaceful protest, and the court has rejected that notion.
Thank you.
Alors, on a vu une altercation un peu annoncée autour de matériel utilisé par l'entreprise. Est-ce que l'université semble vous empêcher d'utiliser matériel? Comment ça fonctionne? Est-ce qu'il y a des discussions à ce niveau-là?
So earlier this morning, there was an altercation at the Roddick Gate where there was attempts by the McGill security to stop equipment from going in. Has there been any attempts for McGill to stop movement at the entrance?
Yes, as we've seen, McGill administration has been suppressing student voices in any way they see feasible, including stopping equipment, attempting state violence, attempting forced removal of protesters. We reiterate that this suppression will not last. We will not be deterred.
L'administration de McGill a pris beaucoup de mesures pour réprimer les étudiants. Ils ont fait des accusations par rapport à l'encampement, puis ils ont même dit qu'ils allaient utiliser de la force à travers la police pour démanteler cet encampement. Mais les étudiants, ils restent très sûrs d'eux-mêmes et fermes dans leur demande de désinvestissement. Are there any other questions? Okay, so there are accusations from the McGill administration in regards to the sanitary condition of this encampment.
Students have experts and professionals on site that have been able to ensure the security of the encampment and the sanitization of the encampment. But again, it is very ironic that McGill administration is bringing up these safety concerns when they have pushed their students to take these measures in the first place, and they continue to invest in genocide and occupation.
Donc, il y a des experts médicaux sur le site de l'encampement pour assurer que les conditions médicaux et sanitaires sont respectées. Et c'est très ironique que l'administration de McGill dit avoir peur pour le safety des étudiants, quand c'est eux qui ont mis leur safety en danger à plusieurs reprises en faisant des tactiques d'intimidation et de répression et en disant que la police pourrait rentrer à force. How many people are in the encampment, or are you going to continue to accept people into the camp?
I'm not sure about that. I'm just a representative of the encampment. But what I will say is that this movement will continue to grow. This student movement for Palestinian freedom, to end this occupation and for divestment will continue.
Alors, je peux pas dire le nombre exact, mais ce que je peux dire avec exactitude, c'est que le mouvement va continuer de grandir et jusqu'à ce qu'on ait un désinvestissement matériel à McGill. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions en français? On va passer aux questions en anglais. Okay, we're moving to English questions.
Okay, the judge is, decision talked about how the judge talked about how the court, the university lawyers kept on referring to the fire code, like let the police come in, you can let firefighters come in to see if it's okay and safe. I'm wondering if you're going to let them in at all to make sure that everything is safe so that you can address that.
I mean, again, we have experts and professionals on site that are ensuring the security of the students. And as 2 injunctions rule in our favor, there is obviously, our encampment does not violate any laws, and the security of the students is ensured.
2 questions. How are you going to sustain the camp during the summer if the negotiations fail? And would you let media in to see the sanitation concerns from McGill?
Well, to answer your first question, the community has been coming in and day out, rain or shine, to support us. We are incredibly grateful to every single person who showed up for Palestinian freedom, for divestment from McGill. I have no doubt that we will be able to remain as long as we need to. I think we should really think about how McGill administration is forcing its students to stay on their lawn for divestment, for the simple thing of moving money to an ethical company. In response to the second question, we don't allow media in because McGill has a long history of not protecting its students from physical or verbal harassment on campus, from doxing or against disciplinary charges for peaceful protests, and students' faces are out. Any other questions from English press?
Oh yeah, McGill University had said in its argument that this could be a magnet for other protests and counter-protests. The judge said that there was no serious violence, but I'm wondering, because you have seen counter-protesters come, like I've seen it happen with megaphones and stuff like that. How do you take stock of the fact that this might cause, tensions to rise?
I mean, firstly, we reground ourselves as to why we are here. It's because there's an ongoing genocide that has killed 40,000 people, and this is why the students are here. Once again, the demands of the student body are extremely clear. They're demanding that their administration cuts financial and academic ties with the Zionist regime, and once these demands are met, they are willing to dismantle this camp, and these concerns are not relevant anymore. So McGill administration just has to heed the demands of their students.
Any other questions from English media?
Actually, I could have one in English. What's up with the Algerian flag?
If McGill doesn't continue to negotiate, how do you advance your cause beyond where you are now?
I mean, we have said this before. The students are willing to remain on this encampment until their demands are met. But as we have seen, the entire student front on a global scale for Palestine mobilize and organize for the past 8 months in various different ways. They are willing to sustain that for the next years until their demands are met as well.
Are there any other English media or press questions? Okay, there will be no follow-up interviews after this press conference. Thank you all for being here. Merci à tous d'être ici. Il n'y aurait pas d'autres entrevues en tant que follow-up ou de suivi après cette conférence de presse. Merci.
This close. We will not stop. We will not rest. It's close. We will not stop. We will not rest. It's close. We will not stop. We will not rest. It's close.
Alors, une des représentantes s'appelle Rama, R-A-M-A. Elle est une représentante de SPHR McGill et elle représente l'encampement des étudiants. L'autre personne est une représentante de Voix juives indépendantes. Pas de nom.
I'll try to ask about the Algerian flag and the implication of it. So.
Okay, so Dragon's still out there. And he did see an Algerian flag displayed today, so he just wants clarification from someone to understand why there's an Algerian flag being displayed.
Excuse-moi, juste te demander. C'est juste pour le Algerian flag. I just wanted to know what's the link. Thanks. So they don't want to answer this question. So I'll move out for the moment because audio question. And so this was the press conference in McGill. And as we can see, they are poised to stay around. And, well, they are not leaving yet. So, and probably, if they can, we'll stay probably there for the whole summer. So let's see about that, right? Will depend if the intention are met with the injunction and McGill University. So
Well,
that's what it is.
Yeah, so you got one question in French, but they didn't seem to want to talk to you after that, Dragon.
Sorry?
It doesn't seem like they really wanted to speak with you at the end.
No, actually, well, they did said that they don't want to do any follow-up or interview question after the press conference. So basically, my time was up, and that was it. So, as a good reporter, I will just make sure that I respect that, and we'll see what's going on afterward. But from here, I don't think I will have any luck with other question from the university member. I'll take what's up for my
So Dragon doing a great job down there today, getting this live coverage for us.
So yeah, this is what it is. No question, follow up. It's gonna be pretty much what it is. And well, I think for a first time, I think I had some good questions. Hopefully that will answer the listeners' questionings. And yeah.
Can you turn the camera the opposite direction so we can see the? Can you turn the camera around so that you can see the protest? There you go. There, just put it there and then stand in front of the camera, and we'll just have a little chat about what just happened before we sign off with this this news break. There you go, Dragon. You just set it there and step in front. Now we've got. Now we can see what's going on. You okay?
Yep, my tripod was getting away, but
yes.
There we go.
Earthquake.
I think I should be good. So
we'll have more coverage on this.
Better also for my audio.
Yeah, we'll have more coverage on this at 6 p.m. tonight as well. And along with the other top news stories of the day, we also have Derek Smith out in Calgary.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Joining us on the program.
They are
tonight.
loud. I got hard time to hear you. It will be better with my
So we have a lot of different
with the headphone.
A lot of stories to cover here tonight for you.
Okay, we're set up now.
Biden and Trump have also agreed to a
sorry.
debate, so we'll talk about that tonight. But here's Dragon. He just about has his headset and microphone connected so he can hear us in this noisy environment out there at McGill University.
Can you hear me well?
I can. We can hear you. Yes.
Good.
Can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Okay, so just give us a recap for people just joining us live here. What just happened there at McGill and what's going on there, Dragon?
So basically at 11 this morning, the Quebec court has rejected the injunction. So basically they are allowed to stay here. And we had just a few minutes ago some press conference. I had the luck to ask at least one question, and it went pretty well. So yeah.
Okay.
And basically, my question was about if they were intended to if the injunction pass at some point, if they are willing to stay here, or the police will be using their force to get them around.
Well,
And
effectively, without that injunction, there will be no police presence there. This prevents police from going in, so that is just
Exactly.
not going to happen. At least not right at this moment. So we've seen security try to prevent equipment and other supplies being moved into the university, onto the university grounds. That was mentioned. Is this encampment well supplied? Are they entrenched there? Do they have what they need to stay for an extended period? From what you're observing,
from what I see, they are really well organized, and I think they have a sanity team kind of doing their job there. So, I mean, they are bulletproof kind of thing.
And so now the question is how long. This is a standoff now, and what will the university be able to do over time to address this issue? They are restricting access to the area, these protesters. So it is an occupation, in my view, because they are preventing, and they acknowledged in the news conference that media is not being allowed to go into the encampment. They won't allow certain members of the public to gain access to the common area there. So that is an ongoing issue. And we're also hearing that the municipality is sending some municipal officials down there from time to time to inspect the camp for safety issues. The fire department apparently has been around to make sure that things are safe. And there could be bylaw issues that come into play here as well. If that encampment is deemed to be unsafe for fire reasons or other safety reasons, though that might be used as might warrant some sort of action by the municipality to have it dismantled on those grounds. So I think we're going to get into a little bit of lawfare here.
Yeah, and also they have said previously today that they will, expand the encampment if there's more people that's going into it and agreeing to stick in. So,
well, do you think this will embolden the protesters, give them more confidence? Do you think this will grow now?
Yeah, I will tell you that today they were chanting even more than usual. So I think it did already embolden their intention and make them a little bit more, let's say, aggressive with their means or their chants. But they are not disturbing anyone or doing anything wrong, but they are pretty much more animated than usual.
Okay, so that's the scene there at McGill University this afternoon. Dragon, thank you so much for putting forth this effort. Great job.
My pleasure, sir.
Bringing us this live coverage. We will come back to you at 6 p.m. tonight and get an update from you, and looking forward to continuing live coverage from McGill University. Dragon, thank you.
My pleasure, sir. So,
okay.
See you in a bit.
All right, 6 p.m. We'll be back with Dragon Live at McGill. As I say, we have a number of other stories we're following here. Biden, Trump agreed to a debate in late June and September. As I understand it, there will be no audience, at least in the first debate that will take place. It'll be hosted by CNN. Slovakia's prime minister has been shot and gravely injured in an attempted assassination. We'll talk about that. Derek Smith, who is the author of a couple of books, including How the Prime Minister Stole Freedom, will join us on the program. He's taking a run at the mayor's chair in Calgary. That election is a ways off, but he's going to talk about a recent effort that failed just within the last couple of days to recall the current mayor of Calgary. And we'll talk about politics in general. And there's something very unique going on out in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, where they're going to allow party politics to come into play during the next municipal election. That could have a major impact, not just on that election, but it could set a precedent nationally here in Canada in the way that municipal elections are conducted in the future. So we'll keep a close eye on that. All kinds of news to cover today, including a barge that struck a bridge down in Texas, as I understand it. So another major shipping mishap. Very strange times. The cause of that one, under investigation. We'll bring you everything we know tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern here on the Maverick News Channel. And folks, with that, I will sign off for now. Thanks for joining us for this live Maverick News Update from McGill University, where that court injunction, the request for a court injunction to have the pro-Palestinian encampment has been rejected. See you back here, 6 p.m. Eastern, on the flip side.
This has been a Maverick Multimedia production.